There's a specific kind of silence you only experience when you're driving alone after 2 a.m. It's heavy. It presses against the windows of your car, isolating you from the rest of the world. Last November, I took a job transporting a client's SUV from Colorado to Nevada. The pay was good, and I've always enjoyed long drives. I thought it would be a simple, peaceful trip. I was wrong. It was around 3:15 a.m. I was somewhere in the empty stretches of Utah, miles away from any major town. The highway was completely deserted. No streetlights, no houses, just the endless void beyond my headlights. My GPS had been acting up for the last hour, constantly recalculating, until it finally directed me to take an upcoming exit onto a secondary road, Route 9. According to the screen, there was an accident on the main interstate ahead, and this detour would save me 2 hours of sitting in standstill traffic. I didn't think much of it. I flicked my blinker on and took the exit. The moment I turned onto Route 9, the atmosphere shifted. The road was narrower, the asphalt cracked and neglected. There were no lines painted on the road, and thick deadwoods lined both sides, leaning in like they were trying to swallow the car. After about 20 minutes of driving through absolute darkness, my headlights caught something in the distance. It was a vehicle pulled over on the right shoulder. As I got closer, I slowed down. It was an old, rusted tow truck. The lights were off, and there was no one in the driver's seat. But the hood was popped open. Common sense tells you to keep driving, but it was freezing outside, and we were in the middle of nowhere. If someone was stranded out here, they could freeze to death. I pulled over about 50 feet behind the truck, keeping my engine running and my headlights illuminating the back of it. "Hey!" I called out, rolling my window down just a crack. "You need some help?" Silence. Just the wind whistling through the dead trees. I honked my horn once. Still nothing. A chill crawled up my spine. Something felt incredibly wrong. The truck wasn't just broken down. It was positioned perfectly to force anyone passing by to slow down. I shifted the car into drive, ready to pull around it. But just as my foot hovered over the gas pedal, the radio turned to pure static. I looked in my rearview mirror. There, standing directly behind my car, illuminated by my red taillights, was a man. He wasn't moving. He was just standing there, staring at the back of my SUV. He wore a heavy dark coat, and his face was obscured by the shadows, but I could feel his eyes on me. Panic hit me like a physical blow. I slammed my foot on the gas. I sped around the tow truck, my heart hammering against my ribs. I looked in the mirror again, expecting to see him shrinking in the distance. He was gone. I kept my foot down, pushing the car to 80 miles per hour on this broken, twisting road. I just wanted to get back to the main highway. I told myself it was just a drifter, a weird encounter, nothing more. But 10 minutes later, a pair of intensely bright headlights appeared in my rearview mirror. They were approaching fast. Too fast. Within seconds, the vehicle was right on my bumper. The lights were so blinding I couldn't see the make of the car, but the silhouette was massive. It was the tow truck. He wasn't just following me, he was hunting me. He revved his engine, the massive grille of the truck inches from my rear bumper. He tapped my car. I swerved, fighting to keep the SUV on the road. If I crashed out here, no one would find me. I pressed the accelerator to the floor, pushing 90, then 100. The road was a nightmare of blind curves, but the truck stayed right with me, like a shadow attached to my car. I grabbed my phone to call 911. No signal, just the words, "Emergency calls only," mocking me from the screen. Up ahead, through the trees, I saw a flicker of neon light. A gas station. It looked closed, but there was a large concrete barrier near the pumps. I made a split-second decision. I didn't brake. I ripped the steering wheel to the right, sliding into the gravel lot of the gas station, tires screaming, and slammed on the brakes, wedging my car behind the concrete barrier. I immediately killed my headlights and the engine. I ducked down beneath the dashboard, holding my breath. A second later, the tow truck roared past the gas station on the main road. The blinding lights swept over the parking lot, but they didn't stop. The roar of his engine slowly faded into the distance. I stayed huddled on the floorboards for 2 hours. I didn't move. I didn't check my phone. I just listened to the silence, terrified that I would hear the crunch of gravel under heavy boots. When the sun finally started to bleed over the horizon, I started the car. I drove back the way I came until I found the interstate. I never found out who that man was or what he wanted. But I know one thing for certain. Out there in the dark, where the rules of civilization don't apply, you are completely on your own. If you ever find yourself on an empty road at 3 a.m. and you see a vehicle pulled over, keep driving.